Hello, today we're going to start by doing estimating of steel structures for the course project. We're going to go into the structural drawings. We will look at the roof framing plan to begin with. Over here we want to look at the drawing S2. So we'll go to S2. There you go. And we see this is the roof framing plan. Of course, the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the scale is correct. So this is a eighth of an inch to a foot. We have an eighth of an inch to a foot in our scale, so that seems to be correct. If you still want to verify dimensions just to make sure, we can check that here. So there you go. We got that one. Okay, so from this roof framing plan, what we want to do is we want to identify the components that are going to be required to be estimated. We see here these elements 24K7, and as per the previous video, we know that these are steel beams that have the identifier 24K7. They span from this edge of the wall to this beam that supports the weight for the 24K7 on one side, on the north side, and on the south side we have this 20K4. So we have those spanning up to this other beam W1631 that has then another set of beams at 20K5 to the south of them. There is a series of these beams that needs to be estimated. So of course we want to create a condition in on-screen takeoff to measure these um, beams and account for their cost. So before we decide which type of condition is going to be the best, we're going to go and look for the cost that we have available in the cost reference section for the course. We look through these files, and there is a metal frame cost data. This is the one that we're going to use to estimate those metal structures. So we open that file, and then if we want, we can save it on the computer and open the saved file. That may be easier to look at. So we see wire rope assemblies here, metal joists. These are the ones that we have in our course. We can sort of zoom in here to take a better look. So we see that we have the 20K5, 22K5, 24K6 and 10. So these are the type of joists that we're looking for. And then we look at the units that we have in our table. We have the crew daily output, labor hours, and then the unit. The unit for these are linear feet. So we need to create a linear condition to measure the length of these joists, and then multiply by these unit prices in material, labor, and equipment to get our total cost. So if we go back to the drawing, we see that these are 24K7, and when we look at the files, we have 24K6 and 24K10. So the WK7 is not exactly in this table. What we could do in order to get an approximation is to go with the heaviest one, which is the 24K10. This is 13.1 pounds per linear feet, so it's heavier than the 24K6. We'll use the 24K10 for the purpose of our estimate. So we'll be using $8.5 dollars per linear foot in material, 1.43 in labor, and 0.73 in equipment. Of course, these are heavy joists that needs to be moved with a crane and put in place. So that's why the cost of the equipment it's a little bit high. So let's go ahead and create a new condition. This is going to be a linear condition. We're going to call this linear condition 24K7, okay? And then we're going to start estimating the length of these units. So this will go from this, no, I'm sorry, it goes from this beam down here all the way to the wall. So the next one will go from here to the wall. The next one will go from here to the wall. Next one will go from here to the wall. And then we see there is one that goes from this point to the wall also. This here, this one and this one seems to be a different one. This seems to be 12K1. Now, if we do want to see a cross section of this section to make sure there is no 24K7 here at the edge, we can look at drawing S4 detail 8. So we'll look at S4. We'll go at detail 8. Okay, here it is. So we see there is a metal angle that is supporting the roof deck, and on the wall what we have is a concrete beam. So there is no metal beam structure on that drawing S2 right along this wall. So this completes the 24K7 takeoff for this section of the roof. Now what we want to do is we want to open our Excel file and enter this information as we got it from on-screen takeoff. The best way to do that is to go again to our EIC apps and then open Microsoft Office from here. This is the best option because it gives us access to the H drive wherever we're working. So we don't need to be on the FIU lab to access the H drive. We access Microsoft Excel through Citrix, and then we will open the estimating template that we have created in previous lectures. So we'll go open, we'll look for the computer H drive, and then on the H drive we should find our directories. Depending on the course that you're taking, the directory may be different. For this particular course, we are going to open 5618. And then the estimate is going to be located into the estimate directory. We're going to work with the general estimating template. That's the one where we have the Excel calculations. So we're going to go into the OST tab, right? The OST tab is the one where we're going to be importing the information from on-screen takeoff. From on-screen takeoff, we'll go to the takeoff tab, and then we're going to click on the rightmost cell and drag the mouse onto the first cell. So when it becomes blue, we'll right click on it, copy, and then paste that in Excel. So now we have the information of 24K7 in this Excel file. Now we'll go to the RSM table. Here's where we're keeping track of our cost. We can create another section here for metals. So I'm just going to type in here metals. select this whole row and turn it yellow, so I know that everything that will be here will include metals. And go to the cost source. So we have the cost source for this particular item is going to be 05210. That is steel joist 05210, and then 600. That's the next code, and the final code for 24K10 is going to be 0600. So we're going to have a unit cost of $8.50 for materials, 143 for labor, and 0.73 cents in equipment. So now we can go to Excel and enter the code that we have for this joist: 05210 600 068, and then metal joist 24K7. So we have the unit of measure is linear feet, the material cost is 850, the labor cost is 143, and then the equipment cost is 0.73, for a total of 1066. The quantity of work will go and type the equal sign, go to the OST tab, and select the linear feet that we have for that joist. When we click enter, the Excel file will calculate the material cost, labor cost, equipment cost, and total cost.